We're on page 204 and looking at this. So again, that is the thing that is so important when you try to read charts and graphs. It's not so much just looking at the picture and figuring out. It's every label that's on that gives you information. And you have to understand it all before you ever start to answer a question. Otherwise, you can think you have the right answer because you'll find your answer there. And you'll go on and you'll wonder why you scored so low. Because of things like that. It's not that you didn't know, it's that you didn't take time to really understand. Sometime as well, they will give you a chart in percent and they'll ask you for how many or what fraction. We went over some of those the other day. They may say 25%, but the question might be what fraction of the people, you see. So you're going to have to change that percent into a fraction as we did the other day. You guys have any questions about charts or graphs? Anything particular that you've had problems with? Okay. Probability on page 212. That one is one that's easy if you know it, and if you don't know it, you can miss it on a test. And typically they'll have a probability question on the test. And so the probability is the chance of something happening. You know, because we try to figure out things ahead of time, try to forecast, and so probability is one way to do that, a little more scientifically than just reaching your hand and just pulling out an answer. A little more scientific. So it tells you that the probability of something happening is expressed as a fraction. And you express that as the number of favorable outcomes that can occur, hi Nicole,
Hi.
over the number of possible outcomes. Okay? For instance, it says if you toss a coin up in the air, how many outcomes can you have? Two outcomes. It's got to either be head or tails, right? And so if you want to know what is the probability of the coin coming up heads, how many heads are there? One. And how many possible things do you have? Two. So you have a 1 out of 2 chance, or half a chance of it coming up heads anytime you throw it up. If they ask you as a percent, what percent of the time will it come up heads? 50%. Changing that fraction into a percent. So 50% of the time it'll come up heads, 50% of the time it'll come up tails. What about the number 1 on a die?
1 out of 6
times.
There's 6 possibles, right? And what's the chance of the number 1 coming up? 1 out of 6 times. What's the chance of either 1 or 6 coming up? 2 out of 6. Which would then reduce to 1/3 of the time. So what it's saying is that if you threw it 3 times, one of those times it'll either come up 1 or 6. Now, of course, that's just chance, it's not necessarily. But that's how they figure out your chances of winning the lottery.
Slim to none.
Exactly. If they sell 1 million tickets and you buy one, you have 1 out of 1 million chances of winning. If you buy 5 of them, you'll have what? 5 out of 1 million chances, which then reduces to what?
Where is it?
5
5
out of
out of 1 million.
Whatever that is.
That's 1 million there, so that'll be
200,000.
1 in, so if they pull 200,000 tickets, one of them will be yours. So the way to be sure that you win the lottery,
you buy all of them.
buy all the tickets. If you buy all of the tickets, then
Miss Harris.
you have 1 million out of 1 million chances of winning.